Uh-oh. Y'all know what? I'm going to sing to y'all tonight. Just got paid. It's Wednesday night. Okay, I ain't got paid. I need to get paid, though, because we're doing Teague's Take tonight, man. We're doing Teague's Take tonight. We're so glad that you guys are here, man. We got a great one for you tonight. Got a really good friend, buddy, business partner, all that on the show today. So we're going to be talking some Alabama football. What's going on, man, with this? It's off season, but not really, I guess. I don't know. We got a bowl game coming up, but there's so much happening with this transfer portal. This honestly is kind of got me pissed off, man. I got to stop tweeting about this stuff because it keep me up all night. I get stressed about something that I can't control, and I normally don't do that. So everybody, welcome for coming in. If you're on the Bama Standard channel, thank you so much for all the support that you give, because we do have the founder of it on the show today, and so he's going to be talking to us about that a little bit. Hit that subscribe button, hit those likes buttons, get all that stuff going. Thank you if you're on the Teague's Take channel as well. We love everybody and all the things that you guys bring to us for all the support you have made Teague's Take what it is today. So after we get done interviewing with Justin Riley, we'll introduce him a little bit more a little bit later. We're gonna talk some Clemson stuff. Dabo was a friend, teammate, and man, when I started looking at this film, I'm not sure they can beat Texas. So make sure you hang around and watch and get the analysts of that. Well, without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get this party started right now. Let's go, baby. All right, so we officially begin the Teague's Take podcast right now, where you can come get great film action, the breakdowns. Make sure you're telling everybody about the show, and letting everybody know that, hey, if they really want to learn football and get the breakdowns and see the inside from a coach's standpoint, they need to come visit us here at Teague's Take. Thank you all again for joining in. If you're on the Bama Standard Network or Teague's Take podcast, the multi streams are what we do, and we absolutely love it. The partnership that we have is strong, and we're glad to be united as one in this venture in this podcasting world. Okay, so um, before we get going, this is just a really quick message today that I really thought I want to share for my run out. It's about communication, and how do you learn? How do you learn? And what do we say to people? I know y'all guys hear me talking about this communication all the time because it seems like that's where all the downfalls typically happen with people. You don't communicate. You're afraid to talk to someone or something, but we can't be, and when you don't give your feelings about stuff, it doesn't work very well. So I had to have a conversation with someone, and I thought it was interesting to me because sometimes when you try to give feedback, people can think that you're being mean to them or something, and that's not it. Because sometimes it's a fault of our own. So let me try to explain. Right. So I felt some kind of way because someone I thought wronged me a little bit the way they talked it, but it really wasn't for me to tell them how they wronged me. It was really for them to try to understand how my mind works and what my process is. Very minor, but when you're dealing with marriage, friendships, work, leadership, people need to know how to understand you. And if you don't tell them what actually rattles you or what irks you, they're not going to know. You're just going to assume, man, why did they do that? Right? So you need to tell them in a way so it's a way that they understand you and not so much about the criticism. Okay. So open up a little bit, be vulnerable sometimes and tell people, exactly how you feel. And maybe they'll treat you a little bit better. That's my run out. Okay. So I want to bring in my co host, my friend, my son, all of that. Mr. James Teague needs to get in the house because he is, I figured out how to hit my one button over here so I can hit the hit the button over here. So thank you for training me up on my deal. He's my trainer, He's the guy that has to come and let me in the house when I lock myself out of the house. So what would I call you?
Yeah, you want to let the people know like what time that was when you called me,
Uh, two
and
in the
that
afternoon. 2 in
and
the
that I
afternoon.
answered and got up anyway.
Yeah. So okay. Well, real quick about that. So I got this habit, which is a good habit, right? That typically when I walk out the door, I always lock the door behind me. Well, the problem was I went out to my back porch with no key, and when I went out, nobody's at home. Consuelo wasn't here. I don't know where she was.
Salt Lake City.
So I locked the door, went on out. This is at night, probably about 11 o'clock. I'm going out to have me a cigar and play me some spades on the computer and all this kind of stuff. And uh, I locked the door behind me. So I don't know what time was it, JT. 12, 1 o'clock almost,
It
twelve
was
thirty.
it was one. Uh, I think I got there probably about 1:20.
Yeah. So anyway, around 1 a.m. in the morning, I decided I need to go back in the house after I'd already had a couple bourbons and other kind of stuff in my cigar, and I smashed my face into the door because I locked the damn door. Now, great, I had a good son that I called and said there was no way for me to get in. I didn't have a key under the flower pot or what everybody does, and you know. He answered the doggone phone because I really thought I was going to be sleeping outside because I didn't have no wallet. I couldn't get no truck. I couldn't do anything. It was gonna be bad. I was like, oh crap! I don't know my neighbors over here. I can't go knock on. I can't be the black man over here going knock on the door at 2 in the morning or whatever. I'm like, damn, I'm screwed, man. So I just gave it a shot. Good thing was I had my phone. JT answered, and another time where I had to be humble and tell my faults that man, I'm stuck outside. And I knew he had a key. So thank you for coming and letting me in. All right. But guess who else has a key that helps us a lot? This gentleman, man.
Stream keys is what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, that's a very good key. Something that you like to use. I still don't understand it all, and I don't care to know it all. But he has some keys to a lot of our hearts because of what he does. This guy is a gentleman, has helped me along the way, and JT with how to become better podcasters, streamers, things of that nature. He's got a lot of love for Alabama football, but he has this other passion that he doesn't talk enough about, as I just told him off the screen, is lifting, the powerlifting, the deadlifts, and the things of that nature. He's very strong heart, very strong mind, very strong body, and a very strong network. Somehow he's found a way to get the likings of a lot of us, my friends, the athletes, and he's really good, JT, because he knows how to maneuver these guys around. Because he knows how hard it is to try to deal with some of these knuckleheads, like a Marvin Constant, or or a Bo Scarborough, or even a George Teague, right? So he comes highly recommended as a host. You can find him on the Bama Standard on IG and on X. The Bama Standard Network has, I don't know what they're up to. They're probably up to 12, 13,000 followers on YouTube. Got a lot of shows that we're going to talk about. He does a lot of remote stuff, and what I think is that I haven't even been, I don't know if he's actually invited me yet, but they do remote shows too, oftentimes in the Paul Bryant Museum in Tuscaloosa on game weekend. So we want to go ahead and bring in and welcome Mr. Extraordinaire Justin Riley.
What is up? What it?
Yeah, you the man, dog. You the man.
I felt like I was having my Hulk Hogan moment with the crowd going wild. My shirt will remain on, so don't worry about that.
Well, thank you for coming in, man. We appreciate it.
Oh,
We appreciate everything that you do, bro, for allowing us to be a part of your network and share like this with us. We can't thank you enough.
Man, the honor's all here, and back to your point about maneuvering around these guys, it's like herding cats. I just try to make it look like I know what I'm doing and earning my extra crown in heaven for all that I deal with. Things are interesting, but Yeah, I wouldn't have had a key to your house, George, but I would at least would have gone to Texas and picked you up and taken you to Waffle House if you
that
were
would have
locked out.
that would have been a bad idea. I would have had to figure out something. I really don't know what I was doing. That was just kind of like, like I said, my wife. Yes, she did answer my phone call when I called her too. And but I was just calling her to tell her that I was stuck. And I got to figure this out because we have no windows open, no nothing. I'm like, oh shit, this not good. Anyway, JT, how you doing, brother? You doing good, man?
Yeah, I'm doing great.
Okay, well, you good to go. Y'all talking these? How many different kind of keys? Wait, that gonna sound right because that sound like we might be talking about some drugs or something like that. I'll say what? How many keys y'all got?
Or you're a
But
janitor.
Mhm.
We have two. We have a permanent key for the Bama Standard Network, and we have a permanent key for ours. We probably should rotate ours, but look,
Okay,
I'm not gonna put our business out on the internet so that we lose, lose
no,
our
well,
account.
so do this for me, just in the sake of how we do football, and we're breaking down the film, because nobody's gonna know what you're talking about when you say we have these keys.
Yeah,
So
but the people
if
who
you could
do
put
know
it in
what I'm
some,
talking about is those are the people you got to worry about.
no, so put it in some layman terms
That's
to the
great.
rest of us when you're talking about a stream key. What is a stream key?
I mean, it's just like you can think of it just like a key to your house. Like we have a key to Justin's house, and he's got a key to ours. And if somebody were to get a hold of that key and copy that key, they would also be able to get to the house and do whatever they want to with it. So it generally behooves you to change the keys to your house frequently, and we should do that more than we do.
So that's why I don't have a key to the house. I just lock the door, which means X out of it, and I'm done. Until you open the door next time. All right, man. Well, let's get into some football here because I know we're limited on his time because his time is very valuable. You know, he has his stuff that he has to work about, but I need to let's talk about you first, Justin. Can we do
Okay.
that? Can you tell us a little bit about this, about your channel? How did this thing really come to life? A lot of us are all inspiring and wanting to do things. How did this come out? Did you start the Bama Standard Network?
Well, it all kind of started back in 2020 when the pandemic hit. All sports came to a complete stop. And at that time, I was with another network just trying to get into this whole podcasting thing. I was covering Alabama and other sports as well. But when things come to a halt, you're sitting around thinking, well, what in the world do I talk about if there's nothing actually going on? And it's funny how a guy works. I get on Facebook, and you know how you have those friend suggestions that constantly populate. I started getting a lot of former Alabama players populating my friend suggestions list. So I couldn't ignore that. I started contacting all of them and asking them to come on for interviews, giving them the opportunity to relive their glory days, be in the spotlight one more time. And next thing I knew, they all started responding, and I had like 3 or 4 months worth of interviews lined up. And one of those guys was Marvin Constant. Marvin and I reconnected after our days at Alabama. It'd been quite some time. Hit off. We found a great chemistry, and then we started talking. And there was a vision that was shared where we could create a platform that would be a safe place for the players to come back and be able to talk without fear of controversy or trying to get some story out that would blow up the internet or make them look bad. It's just a safe place for the guys to hang out, honor their career, and also be able to speak freely, not sugarcoat things, tell things the way they should be told, which a lot of networks spend time trying to sugarcoat, whereas we tell it like it is. And thank you, George. You were actually one of my first interviews to really get me going. So I really appreciate that. But as Marvin and I begin to do this thing, we continue to get more and more of those your former guys in there, building a great network. Next thing you know, we got a stand-up comedian, Steve Brown, joining the fray as a guest, and he becomes a permanent fixture. Stephen Smith catches on to what we're doing while he was at TDA and says, "Hey, I want to be a part of it." So then he's there. Next thing you know, Bo Scarborough is coming up and saying, "Hey guys, I love what you're doing. I don't want to be a guest. I want to be a panelist." So we grow from there. We got a family built, kind of a dysfunctional family, but hey, it works. And we outgrew the platform we were on, and we formed our own network here on YouTube. And we've gone from one show, the Bama Standard, and just making videos of what we do, to all of a sudden now we have 8 shows airing on our network, and they're all different from each other, unique. It's still the same kind of vibe. It's fun, telling it like it is. Great place for people to hang out, talk Bama ball, revisit the careers of legends, and we're also giving opportunities for people to do things that haven't been done. For instance, on Wednesday nights we have Crimson Dynasty with C. Payne. She is the first female to lead a podcast about Alabama football. So that's something that's new, and it's caught on very well. And don't try to test her. She knows her stuff. If people are given any kind of idea that women don't know sports, I dare you to come on and jump in the live chat, because you're going to get proven wrong. But it's been tremendous. George, you mentioned we have remote shows. We partner with the Paul W. Bryant Museum on several occasions to do shows before games, and then A-Day. Matter of fact, I did invite you a couple of times, but you big boyed me and you said you had other things on the docket. I think you were hanging out at the grandstand with all the other Bama elite.
No. You say
But
invite, but you can't invite me like 10 minutes for the show and say,
oh no, it was a week or two.
no.
Actually, it was a month out, but folks, legends don't get passed. I'm gonna call them out. But it's been an amazing journey, very humbling, because you start out as a Bama fan, you see these guys on TV, and you think, you know what, I'm never going to get the opportunity to talk to them or hang out with them. Well, now they're all that's in my address book. I'm talking to them every day, hanging out. I'm the nerd, sitting with the cool kids, and it's opened so many great doors. Like I say, we're partnering with the university. We have a relationship with the football program, current players, and people within the staff that help us out tremendously. You know, God's really blessed us. It's been an amazing journey, and we continue to grow. People, I guess, like us. They keep tuning in every week.
No, that's awesome, man. You're doing great work, and it's so I want you guys to know that. So when we talk about being I use the word lightly or whatever, but insider, when you get information, when you do have the relationships with that, and you can have the truth. That's what I love about it. You can get the truth from when they're giving the analysis and things that is just not shock jock kind of stuff, that there's actually some good intel, so to speak, so you kind of know what's going on. So we're going to dive into some good Alabama stuff now, so we can figure out what you can tell us and all that kind of stuff. I do need to give a good shout out to Bob Rutherford really fast. Thank you for being in as well. He's a great fan. Great supporter of Teague's Take, and I believe he did receive the special gift that me and JT sent him, as we said we would do. So I hope you enjoy your signed autograph photo that we sent to you for you to display however you would like. All right, so let's get into some football. All right, and really, I just kind of need. This can go in so many different ways, and I hate to over-end the questions, but maybe you can first start out with giving us and the viewers just a kind of a rundown of the updates of who we know from Alabama who's actually officially jumped into the portal and is looking around at other places.
Well, we've got quite a list. First, we got Jaleel Hurley. He is now committed to Kansas. Jaheim Otis, defensive lineman, who was very promising and looked like he was going to be one of the next great men up front. He left early this year. Now he's with Coach Prime in Colorado. He was going to go to Ole Miss, but the asking price was pretty far-fetched, and Lane said, no, thank you, go on to Boulder. They can take care of you better there. And Keanu Coote, linebacker, a promising kid. I know him personally. He's been on our show a couple of times. Down to earth kid, got involved in some controversy that has yet to be proven, but yet people want to run with what's controversial without looking into the facts. So, but he's at Vanderbilt now, living life in Nashville, has 2 years of eligibility, and has a greater opportunity to soar and get into the NFL. And then you got a whole slew of wide receivers: Caleb Odom, Emmanuel Henderson, Kobe Prentice, guys that were starters and played meaningful minutes. They're now gone. And after that, don't only forget Kendrick Law, a guy that I feared was going to be gone because of not getting the touches that we were led to believe he would receive this year. This is a guy that was being billed as the next Debo Samuel, but for Alabama, and we rarely saw him on the field. And heck, I mean, there are times I forgot he was on the roster, and then you see him pop up occasionally against an LSU or someone else. And of course, a guy that dynamic doesn't get the ball, the writing's on the wall. There's some other guys, some backups like Miles McVay on the offensive line didn't quite blossom into the player we thought he'd be. Hunter Osborne on the defensive side of the ball. We talked before the show about quarterback Dylan Lonergan, kid with a lot of promise, great player, hard worker, tough as nails, high football IQ, can make some things happen at the quarterback position, but he just kind of got lost in the fray. And then as the new regime came in, you saw Kalen DeBoer bring Austin Mack here, and now we got Keelan Russell. So he got phased out. Doesn't take anything away from his ability, but he saw that this wasn't where he was going to blossom, and now he's with Bill O'Brien at Boston College. There's an interesting situation forming there, but we can always talk about that later. And here's one that really hurt me, George. Justice Haynes, kid I really loved coming in, one of the top running backs in his class, 5-star, physical kid. Pretty apparent he was probably going to get fed up because he didn't get the touches that he deserved this year. Yep. When you're that dynamic, you're supposed to touch the ball. You're a difference maker. You're being told you're a difference maker, only to have the ball pulled from you on those zone reads probably about 95% of the time. I had to go back and look at the actual stats. And then last but not least, we had defensive lineman Damon Payne withdraw, and now he's headed back home to Michigan, and he is committed to the Wolverines. So those are the guys who are out right now. Of course, as we know, we had Dane Lewis, who was in there for a cup of coffee, but now he's decided to come back, and he has a great opportunity to get a position at the tight end room now that we have some guys like C.J. Dupree and Robbie Oots going on to the NFL. And the biggest of all, Jalen Bachway, who had us in a complete whirlwind in a period of 48 hours, has decided to stay. And we can always talk about the motivations there, but it's not been short of anything exciting here in Tuscaloosa. People say the offseason is supposed to be boring, but not when it comes to Alabama.
Man, it hadn't even gone that. And I don't even know how many names you just rattled off. But would you say that we're comparatively speaking to other squads? Because people always want to say, well, Bama, has this issue. Everyone's leaving. How do the numbers really match up with, I don't know, other SEC teams or just people around?
I think it's overblown. I think it's more publicized because it is Alabama. We've been the dynasty. We have been the overall symbol of college football over the past decade or so. And so when this starts to happen, automatically people think, oh, the dynasty is crumbling, and they try to make it a lot worse than what other teams are experiencing. Well, I venture to say, well, what about LSU, Ohio State? It's happening there too. It's not just happening at Alabama. But I look at majority of these guys that I just named, a lot of them were guys that were not being properly utilized. Some of the guys that like the Miles McVays of the world, the Damon Paynes, who weren't quite having the impact. You expected them to leave, to find better or more stable environments, to get together some NFL film so that they can live out their dream and get drafted. There's only a few guys that I would say would be, quote, impact to where they're leaving hurt the program tremendously. So I think it's a bit overblown. I think Justice Haynes hurt. Okay. But other than that, Kendrick Law, Other than that, I'm not getting upset about it. Jalen Mbakwe would have been an impactful player, but he's with us now.
Yeah.
So other than that, man, it's just gonna happen every year.
Well, and I do want to talk about him in a little bit for a second. Shout out to Brent Thomas. Want to give him a lot of thanks and props too. He's not asking for this, and he doesn't pay for any advertisement and all this kind of stuff. But if you guys are looking for websites built and something like that, this is our guy to be able to go to profoundsites.com. If you want to know one that he does, just go to georgeteague.com. He has me looking good like that. So he is actually one who has built our site and has helped us with a lot of Teague Steak stuff as well. Bama guy himself, went to Bama. Played a little bit of football there too, so you might as well support him.
Absolutely.
With that, if you guys are ever looking for any websites, and you're not just not like building like mine, it could be whatever you want. If you're looking for e-commerce and all this other kind of stuff, so he does a really good job with his work, and he can tell you about all the other things that he does. But I can personally speak for him because I've worked with him for many, many, many years. With that, so thank you, Mr. Brent Thomas. I see a lot of you guys are in the house. Run the table TV, man. We're glad you're in the house too. Love the interaction that you give us, on social media and all this kind of stuff, and the challenging questions you give us with football. So thank you for everybody. I know there's some sponsors on the Bama Standard Network that Justin may want to give some shout outs to. He'll be able to do that as well because we're all in this together. Okay. All right, but I now want to ask you about this Mbakwe thing because I don't really understand all of it myself, right? We were talking about a show that, you guys do a great job of just finding, digging, on your time. JT and I are a little bit more. Maybe JT knows about some of this too, but, he's supposed to be gone, and then I'm hearing all this. He wants to be the Hunter kid, and he's going to be able to play two ways as opposed to one, or what's the truth, man? What do you know, Justin? If JT knows anything, then you can. But what really happened with this? And did we just pony up and give him more money, or what happened?
That's essentially what happened. It came as a shock when we initially heard the news because this is a guy that was all Alabama, bought in from day one. He was responsible for getting Ryan Williams to stay committed after Saban left. He brought him back in. He and Ryan started the podcast. They were essentially the poster athletes of Alabama. They were embraced by the fans, real love. And Mbakwe was getting playing time. So you started to wonder, okay, it's not that he's not getting playing time. So what is it? Well, it's NIL time, folks. Money is the big factor. And listen, everybody's complaining about Greg Byrne asking for money to build up the NIL to compete with other teams. Don't get mad at him. This is the new way of doing things. The Saban discount is gone. We can't just bring people in because of Nick Saban. And as hard as it is for me to say this, the Bama brand isn't a really big selling point either. A lot of these kids now, they're money driven. It's a business decision. There are a few kids out there who still grow up dreaming of playing for Alabama. They're bought in and all that. But a lot of those guys, they're becoming dinosaurs now. So this comes out of nowhere. And then Ole Miss starts coming into the picture. They heard about it. And they start ponying up their money because Lane Kiffin is not shy right now about offering opportunity
Well, ain't somebody
athletes.
supposed to get in trouble with this kind of stuff? Is this tampering or inducement or what the hell is going on?
The NCAA is not doing a thing, George. You know that. They say, okay, you want an NIL? Here you go. Best of luck. We're just going to go back and watch the whole circus unfold. But and then we thought all hope was lost. I was even told from the Ole Miss side that the deal had already been done and it would be signed, sealed, and delivered by the end of this week. But Kalen DeBoer was going to come in with a counter offer, and the offer was received. It was honored. So he got the monetary compensation, and he's going to be allowed to do the cool thing and be Alabama's version of Travis Hunter. And I hate to put this out there. I want to ask this from you and even the audience. Do you feel like this was a smokescreen? Because I feel like now these agents are pulling these kids and putting these ideas in their head. I think
Bro,
what
you're
what
right. This some bull jive. I'm saying some bull
the,
dookie or whatever
there
you
was
want to
no.
call it.
I feel like there probably was never any intention whatsoever to leave. But if you scare somebody enough, you're gonna make them move.
Yeah,
So
but what you got to do this again next year.
you got to do it every year. You got to do
Uh,
it every day.
yeah, I don't know. I don't want to go down this rabbit hole again. Like I said, it gets me frustrated. Somehow we got to figure this stuff out because you guys shouldn't have that much leverage. I'm a player too, and I get it.
Well,
But
there's
this
an easy way to stop them from having that much leverage.
and which one is that? Go
Let
ahead.
them go.
Uh,
Yeah.
yes, but then your fan base is gonna go crazy too. Hey, what are you doing? It's like our Cowboys. I thought you were all in. What are we doing? You're out here asking for
Yeah,
in-out
yeah,
money,
but guess
and
what?
you're not
Guess
even.
what? The Cowboys are still the most valuable franchise.
Yes.
They're not going anywhere. They're still gonna watch the games. They're still gonna show up. They're still gonna buy the beer.
Yeah. I mean,
And
I don't know. When you get into this, you got to figure out if you're going to play the game or not, right? Meaning, are you really trying to win, and can you afford the guys or not? I don't like it as a benefactor or as a donor necessarily, and I think that's part of the problem why Greg Byrne has to go do some of the things he had because you have donors who may have wanted to give to the athletic department prior to all this, but now it's kind of, well, I didn't know I was going to be given for salaries. I like the buildings and I like the other things, and but
you know
now,
what it's going to.
yeah, but now it's just got, and we can't keep him, and this guy is just going to keep coming back to me. Heck no, like you're saying, like shit. What kind of reward are we getting back from this? But I guess that's where this new bill is going to come in, right? Is it tax deductible or not? Another rabbit hole we can go down when you give your giving for that, and they're actually using it for salary,
Oh, I mean,
and
regardless,
you write it off.
it's not. Somebody's gonna be paying taxes on it.
Your wife probably can help us with that. We'll get Mario back on too. But anyway, go ahead, Justin. I know
Well,
you got.
there's another side of it too, and I've kind of kept my mouth shut just because I've been told a lot of things that go on behind the scenes, and if I run out there with it, it causes all kind of craziness. But I've heard on several podcasts, even on here, the term or the phrase, if a certain player was better than the other, then that they would be playing. Normally, yes. Pre NIL, yes. But now you've got boosters and NIL collectors dumping in hundreds of thousands and even millions into certain players who are starters. So you can't take them out. Even if someone's better, even if someone's doing the right things, and that guy that you're pouring money into is doing the wrong things.
So you can't bench Dak. So you
Well,
can't
hold
bench
on.
Dak Prescott.
Oh, well, hold
What
on,
you saying?
because I hear what you're saying, but I don't know that that's any different. Like, I think the money's going to different places, but before, if it was just going in the athletic department, I mean, it's just as easy to be like, look, I'm not donating anymore unless so and so was playing.
Well,
So I'm saying I don't know that over the last 10 years that
Didn't happen.
yeah, because I mean I
Well,
really think
but
that was
now
the
it's
problem
more
at Texas
prevalent.
before.
It's easier now because you know some of the dollars, or you at least speculate the dollars. That hey, if they say he's making X millions of dollars, and the guy behind him is not, the donor's gonna say, "Bro, I know you called me and asked me to try to help you get this dude, and you're gonna bench him." Oh, bullcrap! I can see that. What Justin is saying. I'm paraphrasing, I guess, but
and
that's
I'm not saying it is going on, but I want to put that out into the atmosphere is another avenue to possibly think about. And then I mean, the coach is not in a good situation too, because if he's actually facing that, he's got the pressure of the fans who are donating, the collective, the administration, and then also too, he has to think about another aspect. Okay, well, if certain players aren't playing, then we got to revolt in the locker room, and they decide that they don't want to play because you're not starting their guy. So the coach is in a very difficult situation. But then when things go wrong on the field, all the blame is heaped on him. Not to say that the coach is without fault. We all know coaches have moments where they don't make best decisions, but you got to look at the whole picture, I think.
Hey, I just need to say something to run the table. Hey, man, we appreciate you giving to University of Alabama. If you're, I don't know what you're giving to or how you're giving through the Crimson Foundation. But if you are looking for other ways to give to the University of Alabama, please don't forget about the George Teague and Family Endowed Scholarship Fund. We'd love for you to be able to support that however you could as well. Okay, so let me ask you about Milroe.
Mm-hmm.
There's a speculation of was he going to leave? Is he going to stay? Does it go as a league? What is your gut feeling on all this? Does he dip right after the bowl game and declare, or is he going to try to get another year? What are you thinking?
Well, based on projections right now, he's the number 3 overall prospect at quarterback, unless something has changed. And from all the analyst talk here recently, he's projected as a day 1 or day 2 pick. I don't see how you turn that down. So I honestly feel like that his time at Bama is over after the bowl game. I mean, he may decide to come back. I mean, hey, for some folks, you're getting paid more in NIL than you are getting that rookie starting salary. So it's something to consider, but I'm leaning more heavily towards him going to the NFL.
You think he's going to play in the bowl game?
Oh,
Now
he is.
he's losing all these people. Is he going to play?
He is. He already
said he was playing.
Yeah, I know what he said. I'm just asking, do you think he's going to play in
Now, how much? That's
game?
the question. Is it going to be on a limited basis, or is he going to go the entire way? Hopefully, we make short work of Michigan, and he's not in there longer than he has to be, along with the other upperclassmen who have high draft aspirations.
How many guys have they lost? Did you study that?
A lot. Michigan's got a lot of guys.
Yeah, really. Yeah, key guys. Mason Graham. You got a lot of guys. Colson Loveland.
Efforts is not playing either.
See, I just don't know, man.
Will Johnson's out.
I just hate this for the game because people it's like trying to go to an NBA game when everybody's not playing.
Exhibition.
Whatever. Just now why do I want to fly down to Tampa to go watch this game? Okay, you get to see some youth or something, but probably going to change with all the transfers and all this kind of stuff. I don't know. I sound like I'm the old grumpy man right now, I guess.
Shouting at the clouds.
That's what he was actually doing when he locked himself out in the backyard. He was shaking his fist like this,
saying, "Get off my grass" to anybody who walked by.
Okay, so signing day is coming up again in another month and a half, or whatever it is. So how many spots we got, and what positions are we really looking at? What is the biggest need that we need to be focusing on right now?
Really, we have 3 needs, and that's, of course, the offensive line at tackle. I think we're going to try to address that in the portal. My question is, at the tackle spot, it's all dependent upon what Elijah Pritchett does. Me personally, I hope he ventures on somewhere else and finds a place that can hopefully develop him, because what he's shown us at Alabama ain't it. But you also got to look at I just forgot his name. Wilkin Formby. Sorry about that, guys. A guy that has tremendous talent. Caught a lot of scrutiny because he had a difficult game against South Florida early this year, and he was taken out. I felt like that was a bit premature. I think he's a kid that was just figuring things out the hard way, but I felt like he was growing from it. And whenever he got reinserted back into the lineup during the year, he didn't make the mistakes. he was growing, he was getting better. So I felt like that you really need to take a look at giving him a shot. But we have some guys we're looking at in the portal. Kid from Washington, Kaylee Tafaya, a real strong, big kid, versatile, can play left or right tackle. He in high school he played on the defensive side of the ball. Physicality and toughness, he's what you want. A guy that's an incredible run blocker, and we got some studs in that backfield that we need to open up running lanes for.
Yep.
We need a seasoned linebacker. We still haven't heard about what Deontay Lawson's going to do. If he comes back, fantastic. If not, we need to start figuring things out real quick. We got to replace Jahai Campbell. At linebacker, we're looking at the portal. We're going to try to take one of Coach Prime's guys, Nikai Hill-Green. Physical kid.
I thought that was done. We didn't get him?
Not yet. He's visiting this week.
Oh, he visited. That's right. Okay.
Yeah. What the best thing about him is he is a locker room guy, a leader, somebody you can count on. The only negative is he doesn't quite have that burst of speed you want yet, but I feel like he can get there. I love his upside. I feel like if he comes to Alabama, he can fit right in and can be developed into a primetime dude. But really, it's the offensive line at that tackle spot, and then finding one more guy on the defensive side. That really hurt things right now as far as anybody we're specifically targeting, but that's a need in linebacker, like I said, as well. Other positions, I think that we're doing pretty well. We got who we need. We're stacked.
All right. Okay. I'm feeling good. I mean, I don't know. It just makes you worried. And it's just what you hear and all this kind of stuff like, oh, death is upon us or whatnot. I don't feel that way, but it's just how.
I don't either. People worried about the receivers who are leaving. We've got a big room of guys who are super talented coming back, and we addressed the secondary as well in this recruiting class too. I like what we're getting in, kids who are bought in, who have the right type of mentality, and will have the opportunity to play early and be an integral part of their position groups.
Hey, JT, has the new rule about the number of scholarship athletes, has that already taken place? Is that in effect this next year? When does that actually happen, when the roster size per scholarships change?
If I remember correctly, Coach Flo last week had said that was already a thing. The roster limit has gone up.
Okay. All right. Last one, Mr. Riley, and maybe JT has seen this in some of his discords or whatnot, because a pretty good source for us, I would say, said that we might be looking at some potential position coaching changes. Have you heard of anybody that may be on the way out?
I did.
I have.
Okay. Can you be at liberty to talk about it? Or
there has been a lot of talk swirling about the interwebs in MySpace that
I don't think Ephraim knows how old I am.
Yeah. Well, you can tell him.
No, I'm already past 30, and 2 torn Achilles. I don't think you want me. What's the those who can do, those who can't teach.
or do podcasts. I don't know, JT. Right now, there's like 27, 28, and 30-year-olds still playing college football. I want to know how that happens.
I do for Miami, about 42 at tight end.
I think he finally graduated. He has about 3 degrees.
Yeah, I know, right?
But then you got the quarterback at Oklahoma State, who I think is entering into his 9th or 10th year. It's insane.
But anyway, get back to the coaches, man. What we
like I was saying, man, there's a lot circulating about in regards to Freddie Roach. Alabama fans have been really critical about his ability to coach guys up and develop them, but I don't think he's going to be dismissed. I think he's doing a good job. I think he's been handcuffed, given what he has been under at Alabama. And one thing, everybody's begging him to go. I want to ask, what do you risk losing if he does go? Freddie Roach is arguably one of the best recruiters in the country right now. A lot of these kids are coming to Alabama because of Freddie Roach. I talked to some of these kids. I talked to their parents, and they're coming to me worried because they're hearing either Freddie might be dismissed or go to another school to possibly be a head coach, and they don't want Freddie to go. He's the reason they came. I don't think he's going to go. I think all the speculation of Walmack being kicked off or Sheridan being dismissed, it needs to stop. It needs to stop right now. Walmack has gotten progressively better throughout this season. There is an upper trajectory. You see a positive trend. They're growing. They're learning. On the offensive side of the ball, look, I know there's a lot to gripe about this year. We could go into another show about all of that. But I think that you need to give him one more year because when Jalen Milroe goes, the offense all of a sudden takes on a completely different personality. It's going to fit more towards what DeBoer's style is. So you're going to really get to see a lot more that we weren't able to see this year because of what Jalen Milroe's limitations are, as well as what his skill set was. Next year, we're going to open things up. Whoever the quarterback's going to be, he's going to be able to sling it, and he'll be able to find those guys. So I say lay off Sheridan, give him a probationary year. Let's see what we can do with this new offense is going to look like before we start marching and forming picket lines outside the athletic complex.
Yep, I agree with you. Florida State, here we come. Here we come, baby. Out the shoot. I think that's who we open up with next year.
It is.
That I saw. Okay, well, hey man, we do appreciate your time and for coming in and shooting this knowledge. What you do with the Bama Standard, what you guys do is just absolutely amazing. You guys make sure that you subscribe to his channel, the Bama Standard. Make sure you hit the likes and the follows. If you're part of Teague's Take family, go ahead and join the Bama Standard family as well. As you said, they got a lot of different shows with a lot of different content. They're going on all week, so you can always be full of college football, particularly with Alabama. And you get to hear from some players too. It's cool that they have comedians on their show too, because I tell you what, there's a lot of joking going on if you had to really listen to it too. So it's really fun, really cool. I don't know if y'all have thrown JT in the fire over there yet.
He's been over there. Yeah,
y'all ain't throw him in the fire though, man. I be getting fire.
Well, I've been trying to get him back for quite some time, and I keep on getting
his price went up too. Shoot,
like father like son, I guess. Big boy.
Well, I should have told you because I wasn't doing nothing yesterday.
We had Langham on, so it would have been interesting.
Yeah. So, what days of the week you on? Let everybody know. What else they need about your show and how.
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you guys for letting me be on and spend some time. But it's always a blessing to hang out with family. That's what I consider the both of you. So I'm very grateful anytime I get to hang out. Our show is usually on Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. This Sunday, I want to tell everybody right now, please tune in. We got a special show. This Tuesday night is going to be, of course, Christmas Eve. So you'll be busy doing that. So we want to give you an early Christmas gift. And we do have a gift. George, you mentioned about addressing certain needs that Alabama had here in this off season. One of those needs was edge rusher. We haven't had that guy to really get home since Will Anderson. Yeah, you've had Chris Braswell and Q Robinson. They've been all right, but they hadn't been really that killer we've been looking for or we need. Quay Russaw he's got potential. Yanze Pierre got potential, just not quite there yet. So we went into the portal and we found a hometown guy in Kelby Collins from Florida. He originally was going to come to Alabama, changed his mind, went to Gainesville. We wanted him bad. Well, it's not about our time. It's about God's timing. So he's coming to Tuscaloosa. He's the guy who can be a savage. But why am I telling y'all this? Well, he's going to be on our show this Sunday at 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern. Come hang out with us. We're going to talk with Mr. Collins. After he's gone, we're going to preview this bowl game and get y'all ready for Michigan. So please tune in for that special episode. Otherwise, every Tuesday night, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, you never know what's going to be said. You never know who's going to be there. So you don't want to miss out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all tune in for that. Big round of applause one more time for Justin Riley. Other Bama Standard. We thank you. Yes, sir. They up on their feet, baby. They doing bench press, push-ups, all that stuff that you like over there. But anyway, so we're gonna dismiss him, and right after we come back out of this commercial break, we're gonna dive into some Clemson film and let you just see a little bit of what they do on offense and defense. And I don't know. We'll try to figure out if we think they can actually beat Texas or not.
No.
I already gave you my set beforehand. I know after watching it. I love Dabo and Prince Wimbley and all my Alabama guys at Clemson. But
well, George, Texas don't like physical teams, so they might not like what they go up against this weekend.
Well, let me show you a couple clips before you say that. Now.
Fair enough.
Let me show you a couple clips first. And that SMU, it ain't about SMU, but it's against SMU. And hey, man, them dudes are a whole lot better than I thought they were. I'm watching the film. They look pretty damn good. So thank you once again, brother. We're gonna take 90 seconds and we'll be right back.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. George Teague here, formerly of the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Dallas Cowboys. So let me ask you a question. Are you an athlete or a coach looking to boost your online visibility? Well, you've got to check out On3. Their personalized web pages amplify the total you on and off the field. Whether you want to grow your visibility, build your brand, or simply show the world who you truly are, On3 is here for you. They showcase the complete person, celebrating your passions, perseverance, and the pursuit of excellence beyond sports. These web pages are the ultimate digital hub to elevate your brand and highlight your journey. So head on over to www.on3.io/microsites and get started with On3 today. All right. Hey, we need to say thank you to everyone for supporting the show, being here, listening to Justin Riley. I mean, it's pretty awesome. You guys probably really can't understand the relationship that we have with the Bama Standard, but it's a really good one, and we thank him for allowing us to be, a part of the network as well. As we're continuing to build and build our brand even more. We thank you so much. I think our next threshold, I'm not even sure where we're at, JT, but we're trying to get to that 3,000 followers mark. So, it's kind of hard getting that first 1,000, and then all of a sudden 2 rolls around, and now we're trying to get to the next one. So make sure you guys hit those subscribe button for us and send people to the Teague's Take Podcast channel as well. Okay. So Blackfire, tremendous job. Appreciate it. TNT. We need to talk about them, JT. Tied in Texas.
Oh. Yeah. Sorry.
'cause-
I was occupied.
Alabama playing right now? What's the
And
score?
losing, yes.
To who?
North Dakota.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, I think they've been trailing most of the game too. So that's
3 ball is off. 3 ball is off.
yeah, very much so. Very much so. Okay, let me find John's message here.
Yes, sir. I do know we got part of this. What I know he's going to mention this one during this read, but there's a very special event going on January the 29th. At Sugar Bacon.
It's Sugar Bacon. So, Tied in Texas is the North Texas chapter of the University of Alabama National Alumni Association. The mission of the chapter is to promote the university to prospective students in North Texas and raise money for 10 endowed scholarships. The mission is accomplished through social, educational, and philanthropic events. You are getting breaking news, which is a reminder this time. The next event will be an exclusive showing of the documentary Do Right, The Stalling Standard on January 29th at Sugar Bacon in McKinney. The Stalling Standard is a documentary that highlights the impactful legacy of Coach Gene Stallings and his 1992 national championship team. In addition to the documentary, there will be dinner before and a Q&A session with the panel made up of former players from the 92 national championship team and to be announced special guests. Please follow Tide in Texas on Facebook and Instagram and their website, tidentexas.com, for more information.
Yep. And one of those special guests, I'm sure that they don't mind me saying this because I actually confirmed it today, is so outside of me and Derek Glassick being there, Preston Pearson, formerly of the Dallas Cowboys, who was coached by Coach Stallings, will be part of the panel as well. So that list is still growing, and you guys stay in tune to what's going on there because it's going to be a great event where you can come eat. JT, you can't be Justin Riley, bro. You're gonna,
Literally fixing it right now.
so y'all make sure y'all stay in tune for that and come on and have a good time, and help support for a good cause to raise some money for the Ryan Center, which is Coach Stallings' heart, and also for Tide in Texas. So you'll be good. All right. JT, let's talk some film, man. Let's get to it. Let's break down some stuff. Clemson. And then sometimes it's kind of hard when you're doing this not to, watch both teams, particularly when they're both in the playoffs and this kind of stuff. So there may be some comments about SMU, but this is really for us to try to analyze what's going on with Clemson. Oh yeah, I forgot. Thank you, John. We also did secure Bill Jones from CBS Channel 11. He is going to be moderating the panel, so he'll be asking questions of the former players who were there. So it's just getting bigger, and better. All right. So what we got here? This might be the second play. Or I don't know, maybe you flipped the order on me. So I have to.
I tried to put them in order, but they may not be.
I can see the timestamp. So this would be.
Well, you're not gonna be able to see the timestamps from here. This is actually play 3 on your list. I don't know what happened. That's okay. This is your left guard issue that you had.
Okay. Yeah. So some of the times, sometimes the offensive line, Clemson's in the white, as you guys probably should know. But one thing they weren't able to do, JT, was establish any type of run game against SMU. Their rushers, one of the tailbacks had 13 carries for 28 yards, and the other one had 14 carries for 21 yards.
Yikes.
Right? Yeah. It's not good. Now you scored 34 points, but a lot of that came off of turnovers and short field, right? And things of that nature. And so again, we're not doing this to be picking on people. It's just to kind of let you see, a lot of times when you're scheming and you're trying to do things, you try to get matchups. And this is just one unfortunate case for their left guard here, who takes a pretty big shot when you get off balance and technique. So we're going to have some more offensive line coaches come on. So check this out. I mean, get bench pressed by number 10, just absolutely thrown out of the way. There's no chance for the running back to go. I mean, look how many blue jerseys are around there. I pointed out the one guy, but geez. I mean, the right guard.
The
center
is in the backfield.
We talk about line of scrimmage being moved. That's is SMU that much better? Is what you say, or Clemson just not that good, So they squeaked their way in. Anyway, so they're going to have to figure out how to run the ball against Texas, who's pretty stout, up front as well. Okay. This one,
Miss
this one
throw.
they missed throw. So one thing that you got to do when you have the opportunity, particularly when you get playoffs, you can't afford to miss any shots. So this is good design. Again, like I was talking about the offensive line, his pass blocking is pretty good. Gives him a good pocket. It's a pretty good route by the wide receiver at the top. He's actually open. There's a lot of space. No safeties back there. I mean, there's nobody at the quarterback's feet, and he missed him. Um, you know, so you're looking at it, and we wanted you to see the back angle. Oh, this is
Hold on. My bad. Yep. I forgot.
okay. So this one is the counter.
No. This is the back angle of the miss throw.
Oh, okay. So just look at the pocket, and look at look at the space. I don't know, JT. I don't know how you feel as a quarterback, but I don't know. Maybe you can kind of tell me what you feel when you're a wide receiver and you're wide open like that, and the ball doesn't get there. What do you?
Man, no, that's a drop. That's like
So
that's where I mean, yeah, like you wish maybe it would like
want to go on his
fall
body?
right there, but look, man, like you trying to go to you trying to play on Sunday. This is when you got to pull in.
Yeah. So, but thing is, you got to be able to have the explosive plays. So turnovers is one thing, but when you're playing against good teams like this, like SMU, obviously in the playoffs, but you got to hit these or else. Okay.
This is going to be the running back counter. I had figured out what order these are in. These are in order of how I name the files
Okay.
in alphabetical order. So running back counters next.
So one of the things about what I saw with Clemson is that they're a heavy counter team. They run it all kind of ways. Is this the first one that we actually showed? The running back counter. So two guys pull.
Oh,
JT
QB
probably
counter.
can't
I'm
do that.
sorry. Yeah, Q comes before R. I don't know my alphabet. QB counter.
All right. QB counter then. The two pullers and the quarterback's gonna follow the puller. So there's a couple things we want to see. One, just so you can see the design of it. We've hopefully you guys have learned kind of what counter looks like. Two type of pullers. You get a skip pull by 71, turn and run by 73. Who's supposed to kick out?
Which you can't.
They call that a log. If he goes under, if he tries to wrong arm you,
Mm-hmm.
as we call it, or spill it, he goes under. 71's going to wrap. Now, what I want to show you is the backside defensive end. I don't know if you know who that is, JT. It's number 15 for SMU. Actually played at JP2. We coached him. That is Cameron Robertson.
Oh, right. He transferred.
He did transfer
He
his
went right up the street.
UNT, and he just chased this thing down, spills on the running back. He doesn't make the play, but he caused some havoc over there. So big shout out to him. But then you turn the ball over too. You get her balls on the ground. So you got to win the turnover battle as well when you want to get into, if you want to keep progressing with that. So they gotta do better at the running game, and if they are going to continue to run the counters, they run them all different kind of ways. But I promise you, they're telling Texas right now, read these pullers because this is counter going the other direction. This is what the running back this time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at it, it's the same thing, just two other guys pulling. But you know who that is on the defensive end right there?
It must be Cam again.
But check out how he takes on the guard or the first puller, smashes him into the second puller. So he doesn't wrong arm it this time. It just basically disrupts the play. So when Justin was talking about, hey, how physical are they and all this kind of stuff, I think we've seen a couple plays on there, and we got some on defense to show you too. Okay. Sack.
Yep.
That's what this is. So again, it's going to be, can they stop the penetration from There's some one-on-one matchups. There's only three rushers, JT. Now, can you see the wide angle? I kind
Well,
of
there
want you to see.
you're getting a fourth. It's just it's a delayed.
He's
It's a sim
super
pressure.
late. They're not even thinking about that dude at this point. Um, so yeah, if you want to highlight that, this guy, dude, he starts. How deep is he taking off, bro? There's your blitzer, by the way. Coaches are always screaming on figure out how to get your hide, but you got to disguise it and time it up so that you're a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage. But Jesus, that's not good.
Yeah,
But
maybe a little too far on that one.
yeah, so you know, quarterback has to figure out how to get rid of the ball and do this. I like Clemson's quarterback. Ran the ball pretty well um, against them for the most part. He can scramble and make some things happen, but
Did he drop the ball here again?
they're gonna have man. They really got to be good with these ball security. Uh, I'm sure they caught him down, but still, you know how it is. Anytime you see the ball on the ground,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter. Pick the ball up, right?
Well,
So
it happened with West Virginia last night. The running back fumbled the ball twice, I think, on the first play, and then they gave it to him again. And he had two fumbles in the first quarter.
yep, yep. So here's a sack there. Um,
This is a wide receiver counter.
yeah. So another counter, just run a little different. It's a guard and a tight end.
Yep, GY.
Uh, and they actually. I like this play, man. I mean, because you can still run, they can fake that and run this speed option out the backside. This is successful, but I think this is pretty good design. But one thing about SMU, let me do this. Hey, that number 5 guy, Elijah Roberts, he's really good, man. He's really good. I know you don't see it right here, but I watched enough of the film that dude's pretty stinking good. Okay, is that all of it?
Yeah, that's all of the offense. So for defense, let's see if I can get my alphabet right this time.
We good either way. I got my notes. As long as we.
D comes first, I think. So I think we're looking for a double move on this one.
Okay. Yeah. So, coverage. So some of the stuff in the secondary, they were pressing. It seemed like they were pretty aggressive as far as breaking on shorter routes, and it didn't matter necessarily the down or distance. A lot of playing off and just being super aggressive, which kind of hurt them a little bit on this. I think they could be prone to this double move because they kind of sit flat footed. And this isn't even like a 7-man blitz or anything. It's just cover one, maybe a little pressure, and this guy gets caught.
Well,
He's in no man's land anyway. He's anyway. That's when we were talking about explosive plays, Clemson missed it earlier, and I thought it was going to be a route. JT, when you watched this game early first half, SMU couldn't really do anything, and then they started throwing the ball all over the place. But they did give up over 100 and something yards rushing as well. So they gave up 430. Clemson gave up 400 and I write it down somewhere. Almost 450 yards of offense that SMU had against them. And I would say that Texas are probably just as explosive as these guys are, if needed be. Okay. So Clemson is super hard to run on them inside. You got to kind of get outside some kind of way against these guys. And they were attacking them like this in their running game. So even if they started inside, a lot of times it was a bounce, and then they got out there. So, yes, appreciate that. So this is just a jet sweep, going underneath, quick handed, and
outrun the end is what you have to do.
Yep. Uh, Good blocking by the outside, and there you go. You got 13, 14 yards. Um, so there's a lot of communication, late communication going on with Clemson too, and you watch the film. Oh man, that thing kind of hit kind of fast. So um, I can foresee Texas maybe trying to get outside, which could be quick throws outside. Maybe they try to run it up in there, but Clemson was really, really good with not giving up inside runs. Okay, this is the next one.
Yeah.
Uh,
Probably nose guard. Maybe what we're looking at here.
no, this is the secondary coverage.
Oh,
Oh, wait. Oh no, let me see. 42. What does that say? It was 0, 0.
oh no. This is just the clip that I made.
Oh yeah.
So those timestamps aren't going to match up to what you had.
Okay. Well, holes in the secondary is what I see. Anyway, if he gets the ball up and over, essentially to this guy that's about on the 40 right now, an opportunity for them to get to there again. They're playing zone. Um, just the more I look at this, it just seems like they were very well coached, and they do, obviously have a lot of talent. But they're just things that they have to fix because so many things are on the film that it could go bad. Um, okay. Okay, so I was talking about this left corner up here. Again, we were talking about the aggressive nature. He kind of creeps out left corner. That's the top corner. He's sitting on this slant. Now it's granted this is normal down and distance. 1st and 10. They're sending 5, so it's not an all out blitz. So I don't
2nd and 10 here.
2nd and 10. So he's sitting. I think so. This play actually happened before the double move, but I'm sure that they saw things like this and said, "Hey, we got to hit these guys with a double move because they're sitting on everything." And we know how fast those Texas wide receivers can run too. So this is what I'm saying too. So they got a 3-man front here. Look at the width of the ends.
Yeah, what's the down and distance here? Because it's like you got 2 giant bubbles, and these guys are way out here.
You see them still looking back too. This could have been on the longer yardage ones because they did jump into some 3-man front when they were going to go long yardage and maybe just force them to hand the ball off. But I just thought it was a pretty good work by their nose guard. I think this is the one.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, 55. I mean, he don't make the play, but
Yeah, but he gets the double team and doesn't get moved.
yes. So it allows 47 the time to figure out what the heck's going on and go get in the play. So that's a big win. That was my point. I wanted to make sure I gave 55 a little bit of love there. It was 3rd and long, JT, 3rd and 17. Now I found the notes. This was the play that actually sent it into overtime. I do know that. Again, man to man, it's a pretty good route concept if you look at it from the wide.
I think it just got the tail end on this one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it was a
bad cut there.
good. It's a good route though. Set the guy up. He actually replaced.
See, I'm telling you, this is my favorite part.
What? Oh, you're trying to find the cameraman? As you've been watching the whole
he's
time?
right there.
Well, it was a great play. He fast too, ain't he? I wonder how many times they actually get hit.
Oh, it's got to be all the time.
But yeah, so this guy ends up breaking his stem, because he did have outside leverage at first, That's the reason why. And then he ended up taking his outside leverage. So, all right. What the seeker say? Oh, yeah, we were talking about something I can't see. This before. All right. Okay. This is probably all right. So this defense. I want you to see this defense and no, go back before we show the other part. I want you to look at the secondary.
Okay.
All right, they got so first of all, SMU saw something where they were running trips into the boundary all the time. So I don't know what Clemson has, but you can see there's a lot of guys in the boundary over here. Plus the free safety who actually literally turns and comes this way. So one-on-one matchup at the top, like I don't know why I didn't take that. Anyway, I mean, but look at the way the safety's playing, the middle safety. I'm just wondering what do you call that in your scheme? This is a stress, a
Yeah, it's
something.
not quite stress. Um, it's really more of a poach, because what you can do, part of it is this back over here, and you have to decide. At least if you're running quarters, you got to decide: is this quads or not?
Right.
And if you're gonna treat it as quads, in which they, based on the safety, they probably are, especially since these guys are also into the boundary. You've got a couple of different options that you can do. You still have your 3/4, but really, this guy is looking for the back, and you have to decide. So you got to pick your poison, right? Are you going to take this matchup 1-on-1, which is what they elected to do, and if you're going to leave this 1-on-1, then you can say, okay, you three, I'm drawing a lot of lines out here. You three, you guys are going to be responsible for these two. You three have those two, and the backside safety will pick up the vertical from number 3. And this is just how you get into poach. And you can either sky this, which some people just call it blue, or
They don't know what sky means. JT, can you tell them what sky means?
and I shouldn't say sky, but essentially there's a lot of math that goes into this, in the sense that when you have 4 people, you can make a box in coverage, right? And when we build boxes, we call that sky. Or if you have 3 people, you can't build a box, you build triangles. We call this cloud. And the S is for who is the force player. In sky, the safety or the nickel for us is the force player, which would be this guy on the field. If it's cloud, this guy's going to be the force player. And there's just a few different rules on that. But essentially what we're trying to do is just figure out if this guy runs deep, who's going to take him? If this guy runs deep, who's going to take him? And then what are we going to do with the third guy? And it looks like they opted to solo this guy, say, look, anything coming across the middle field is going to be mine. I'm going to take anything out here. And if he tries to run some kind of post, we're actually just going to double it.
Yep. And it worked well because it allowed him to get some pressure.
Yeah, and this is kind of nice. I mean, they got pressure here, so it all ends up kind of being a moot point. But the concept here, when you're looking into a quarters and you sit down, everybody thinks you're going deep because, right, we'll say 5'10", he's 15 yards, so we're going to consider that a deep route. We're falling off on it. He's thinking he probably doesn't have it anymore because there's nobody in the area, and then he can just sit. Like, there's a window right here that you can fire it into. Just so happens that the pressure gets home first.
Yep. what you'll want to see from the back end because it's a sack fumble. And this is, where you have to worry about the defensive ends um, as well. But again, we started talking about that technique. Golly, let's go back. We talk about Alabama all the time, 54, and how uh, perpendicular he gets way too fast. I mean, that guy can just bend the corner, with no pressure. So that is one way that they actually ended up scoring like that because you have short field, you're getting the sack. All right. Okay. Uh Trap or wham. I don't know which way you call it. So the guy behind the line of scrimmage is actually coming to get the one technique. I was talking about how do you run up inside on them. A lot of times you would try to do this. So um I want to highlight 47 because we're talking now. I don't know that the tackle did that well to cut him off, but he did not go the wrong way, which we talk about all the time, and he stays in to
Hmm.
the left of him and actually goes and gets in because if he doesn't get there, they actually pick up zero. 47 needs to make that play, and he does. Uh, so I don't know. I think we should have one more. Did I miss the left corner getting trucked?
I maybe it's maybe it didn't make the.
Oh, it would have been right after.
Maybe it was this clip that I might have pulled the wrong timestamp.
Oh, okay.
I might have
Yeah.
fat fingered something.
So anyway, the other thing that I was gonna show was the left corner. Um, he he
I can probably find it.
0836 00. And it really was just to say things that you don't want to be on the film at all. Yeah, this is it. So look at the corner at the bottom.
Yikes!
Uh-oh. First of all, you can't get on your heels. And then you get trucked, and then he gives you the business and he teabags you. So that's not so what we're again, it's attitude. This is early in the game, you know. This is how you get wide receivers uh confidence, right? So I definitely wanted to show that again. It's not to be, nagging on the kid, but that's I don't know, JT. How you feel about that, right? Okay, so if you go back though, um, yeah, that's not a good picture. You're on the guy's wall like that, right? The other piece from it is what I was telling you about. They're actually trying to run the ball. I was highlighting this corner, but they're trying to run the ball inside. No real success. Okay, why you want to pause on a guy like that? You want to? You looking for the blow up feature? Oh golly, man, come on, man. That's not good, right? But your defense saves you. They're trying to run the ball inside and they can't. So, uh, pretty good work by them up front and stopping the run. All right, I know. So I think I need to go back and look at some of my bold picks that I picked. I haven't picked all of them.
I didn't. I picked the.
John O said you're scared. And you didn't want to bet him. So
John
whatever.
can say what he wants to say.
But as I finish this part up with them, um, I think this is. I don't know, JT. I don't know how you feel about it. I don't know how much you really looked at it, but just after watching this and kind of seeing what they do, I'm a little worried for Clemson. Originally, I had them pick maybe to go upset Texas, but I think playing at home up at Texas And just seeing the way they showed here, I think you're going to have a hard time. Is there any way you can see the line? What is the line on
Yeah,
this?
I can find the line. Let's see.
While he's looking for the line, I'm actually 4-0 in my bowl picks right now. I picked Jackson State, Southern Alabama, Memphis, and
The
James Madison.
the line is Texas minus 10.5.
See, so I was thinking 14. And I didn't know the line at all. I'm just watching the game. And I'm like, man, they're not as good as Texas is. Particularly, and I think you'll want to know my other site that I don't have anything against yours. I don't have any stuff, but I tell you what, if that running quarterback comes in, because if you go back and you watch this SMU film, the SMU quarterback was running up and down the field on him a little bit as well. And I know what's the backup's name?
Arch Manning.
Arch Manning got some wheels too. So if he's ever in the game, he'll get a chance. So I am going to take Texas. I'm going to go in here and switch my thing because I had Clemson as first. So there it is. There it is. I picked UNLV. I picked Sam Houston over Georgia Southern. Got the Ohio Bobcats over Jacksonville State. Taking the Gators over Tulane. Taking Notre Dame over Indiana. Taking Penn State over SMU. And you don't like it?
No, I was
I'm taking Texas over Clemson. I'm going to take Tennessee over Ohio State. And we can go on from there. But that's how I'm going to start. I got all of them done. Some of them were pretty hard.
I don't know how these other two went, but the ones that were played today, I probably would have picked Western Kentucky and probably Cal, just because UNLV just lost their coach and their offensive coordinator. But I don't know how either one of those.
Well, Western Kentucky lost 27-17, and in the second quarter, UNLV is winning 14-13.
Okay.
Do some more time, but I picked UNLV.
I think I would have picked Sam Houston. Got
Sam Houston tomorrow. Then Friday, I got Ohio over Jackson State, but they're both pretty good.
This one here, though, I think I'm picking Jacksonville State over Ohio.
Yeah, they're pretty good now. I mean, I don't know. That's a money pool for me, so we'll see how it falls out. Okay, well, that's it, man. We got about 2 minutes. Our time's about up. That would have put us about an hour and a half, our 90 minutes. So we do appreciate everybody tuning in, coming checking out this out. Hopefully, we got some Clemson fans in here or some Texas fans in here. We kind of talk to you guys a little bit about that. Thank you to Justin Riley for all the support and the great insight that he gave us today. Pretty amazing. Next week is Christmas on Wednesday.
We're off, right?
Yeah, we're not going to be on here live. We may have something that can record that you might be able to watch or something of that nature, but we will not be a live show next Wednesday. So just make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you know exactly when we're going to be on. We'll tweet at you a little bit, all right? So thank you for being a Teakster. He's JT. I'm GT. We'll see y'all in a couple weeks. Peace.